Hello and welcome to Rajyasabha TV's special presentation on India-Israel friendship. Away from the zone of diplomacy and bilateral meet, we'll give you the story of the friendship between these two countries from the best ambassadors possible, the tourist. Over the years, this Paharganj main bazaar has morphed into a hub, or to say hamlet, catering to the needs of Jewish tourists.
An unassuming labyrinth of ever-growing spaces in the heart of Delhi's commercial spot, with motifs not easy to miss. For many of these tourists, majority of whom happens to be the backpackers, Paharganj serves dual purpose: a transit point to other tourist hubs of India, and second, the most important one, their home away from home.
The first time I came to India, I landed in Paharganj. So I kept coming to Paharganj after every time.
What's the reason behind that?
Because you have a lot of offer on guest houses, hotels, different prices, different offers. You have plenty of restaurants to choose, and it's very lively.
What's the beauty of Paharganj?
I arrive, I make little business, I know a lot of people here around. More than 7 years coming to the same places, and I feel like at home a little.
What about food here?
Yeah, food I like, but I like a lot of Indian food here, but sometimes for my children I can get like European style, spaghetti, things like this.
Sites such as these are common at Paharganj hotels and cafe, which of late has mushroomed inside the worn alleys, just a walking distance from New Delhi railway station.
What do you have to say about the food here? Like, do you get food of your own country?
When we're here, we pretty much order just the local food, getting the Indian dishes. This is our second time at this restaurant, and it's delicious here. So I would recommend this restaurant.
So you feel at home here?
Yes. Well, we don't feel necessarily at home, but because this isn't what we eat at home, but when we come here, we definitely like this place. I'm about to pick you back.
It's kind of a surprise for all of us. I didn't expect India to be this amazing. I've honestly really enjoyed my stay since I've gotten here.
What about the food here? You get food of your choice?
Oh my gosh, yes! I always get, so I go to college in New York, so I always eat Indian food. That's like, because I'm a vegetarian, so coming here and eating authentic Indian food is awesome, definitely. I love naan, garlic naan. I love mango lassis, chana masala, dal, what else? Everything really. I'm open to trying different foods. That's something I've always enjoyed.
Over the years, a gradually swelling influx of tourists from Israel has brought an unthinkable change in this old bazaar of Delhi. Shopkeepers are not just looking to make them feel at home with the choice of food and breads, but they've also begun to learn Hebrew along with slick English, Russian and European languages to draw Israeli tourists even closer.
इजरायली और इंडियन में कोई विशेष ज़्यादा अंतर होता नहीं है। ये जैसे हम लोग दिल के साफ़ और अच्छे होते हैं, वैसे सारे इजरायली जो है दिल के साफ़ और अच्छे होते हैं। जिस तरह से हम लोग अपने माता पिता, भाई बंधु और दोस्तों यारों के बारे में हमेशा सोचते रहते हैं और उनकी टेक केयर करते रहते हैं, वैसे ये भी अपने दोस्त, अपने देश, अपने परिवार के प्रति हमेशा समर्पित रहते हैं। इसलिए हम लोग की दोस्ती हमें लगता है कि बहुत अच्छे लंबे समय तक हम लोग साथ में चलेंगे।
Bakeries such as these are common sights, where hummus, pita bread, cheese and Israeli salads are staple and quick order.
मेरे पास करीबन 500 से 600 तरह के चीज़ हैं और करीबन 200 तरह की ब्रेड्स हैं। तो जितने भी यूरोपियन, इजरायली, अमेरिकन, जितने भी ये कंट्री के लोग हैं, उन सबको ब्रेड्स बड़ी पसंद है और उनकी कंट्री में ब्रेड्स आम तौर पे खाई जाती है। इजरायली फूड जैसे हमारे पास जीवा, फलाफल, इस तरह की चीज़ें इजरायली बहुत खाते हैं क्योंकि ये उन्हीं का फूड है, तो वो हमारे पास है और वो बहुत पसंद भी करते हैं। बट लेकिन आजकल कंसेप्ट थोड़ा सा बदलने के कारण लोगों को बेकरी इसलिए रखनी पड़ी कि बेकरी जो है वो हर फॉरेनर की पसंद है। और अगर हम जीवा या फलाफल की बात करें तो वो कंसेप्ट सिर्फ इजरायलियों का है। जैसे हम अगर इंडियन की बात करें तो उनको रोटी चाहिए, इस तरह इजरायली की बात करें तो उनको जीवा या फलाफल चाहिए।
ट्रेन करते हैं अपने जो बेकर्स हैं, अपने कुक वगैरह हैं कि
यस हम उनको कई साल ट्रेंड करने के बाद हम शेफ़ नहीं बना पाते, क्योंकि उनकी ट्रेनिंग बहुत ज़रूरी है।
ट्रेनिंग कैसे होती है? क्या आप कोई लोकल इजरायली के साथ जो है टाई अप करते हैं या फिर अपने आप ही आप लोग?
शुरू में तो हमने इजरायली के साथ टाई अप किया था, उसके बाद अब धीरे धीरे मेरे ही स्टाफ आपस में एक दूसरे को ट्रेंड कर देता है।
India, or to say Delhi, was soon to be a big draw for these tourists from Israel, just few years after the establishment of diplomatic ties. Formal ties meant a regular flow of people to know the socio-cultural aspect of a friendly country.
मेरे पास ये तकरीबन 93 से आ रहे हैं और 93 से ये बढ़ते ही जा रहे थे, बट पिछले 2-4 साल से थोड़ा सा कम हुए हैं, बट 93 से ये लोग आ रहे हैं। ये सच है कि पहाड़गंज के टूरिस्ट को बिल्कुल ही बदल दिया, सिस्टम को बदल दिया। और क्योंकि ये एक बारी में यहाँ पर 300, 400, 500, 600 की तादाद में एक बारी में यहाँ रहते हैं, तो इसीलिए क्योंकि जब टूरिस्ट ज़्यादा होता है तो हर आदमी जो उसी तरह से सोचने लगता है। अब जैसे पहाड़गंज के अंदर ऐसे कम से कम 10 से 20 लोग ऐसे हैं जो कि इजरायली, जिनको बहुत अच्छी बोलनी आती है। यहाँ पे आपको इजरायली फूड भी मिलेगा, जो कि आज से नहीं 95, 96 और 97 से चल रहा है। और खैर पहाड़गंज तो अगर आप देखोगे तो ओवरऑल सबके लिए भी सबके सारे फूड विश्व के यहाँ मिलते हैं, तो इजराइल ख़ास तौर पे ज़्यादा फेवरेट है।
Although it's nestled in the bylane of Paharganj, it's difficult to miss Chabad House. Any reference to Chabad House brings in memory of 26/11 Mumbai attack, where along with Taj, Oberoi and Colaba Causeway, Chabad House also came under attack. Slowly mushrooming across India in places which is often visited by Jewish tourists, these Chabad House are now becoming a place where community congregates, where people of Jewish descent meet their compatriots, a place for prayer and a place to feel good about.
With a sense of belongingness lending assurance to the tourist of Jewish faith, these Chabad House also serves as a dormitory, a place to seek religious counseling and even a community kitchen, providing kosher food to the community members.
We have prayers, we have special food for Jewish people, it's kosher food. And holidays, we do meals, big meals every Shabbat, it's Friday. We do special meals. And we welcome everyone to come and join us. And India is a good place to do that because India is open, welcoming everyone very kindly. So it's a Chabad House and India, it comes together good.
Opened 20 years ago, this Chabad House in Delhi is the oldest one. Nariman House, which came under attack during the 26/11 Mumbai attacks, was the other one to have opened in 2006. The Nariman House was just 2 years old when it was targeted in the terror attack. Nine and a half years after that dastardly incident, 11-year-old Moshe Holzberg, or baby Moshe, visited Nariman House. Aging just 3, Moshe had lost his parents in the terror attack. Coming home first time after those attacks to witness the heightened Indo-Israel ties, it was indeed a special day for Moshe. Prime Minister Narendra Modi too had met Moshe during his historic Israel visit last year.
I am the grandfather of Moshe, the father from Rabbi Gabi Olsberg. And I called together with Moshe. Of course, it's a very special day to be there and to thank God for them, but Moshe can come in the house and also I hope they will give first ever come over here to be here.
While the memories may be hard to forget, but today these Chabad houses have come up in several other cities which are thronged by Jewish tourists, including Kullu Valley and Varanasi.
Israel is a very active place. People in Israel are very, very busy, learning, working, army. When they come to India, they have more time. They're more relaxed, and at that time they can come to hear about the Judaism, have more, and we give them the opportunity, and not only the Jewish experience, also the home. We open our home for every Jewish person to feel home here.
Addressing this socio-cultural facet, India has been home to Jewish community for a long time. Nearly 2,000 years before these German bakeries and cafes came into being, which are now thronged, or rather A1 choice of the Jewish tourist here, the first band of Jewish settlers came to India, landing on the western coast.
See, we are thinking of using all domains of space technology in all aspects of agriculture. We can use experts sitting here and giving training to farmers or solving the farmers' problem through satellite communication. That will be a big achievement. In Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, it has been mandated that all the crop cutting data experiments should be collected using smartphones. So your time concept is gone, the delay is gone, and you are getting a digital data. You can do host of analysis on that. That's a big achievement.
Watch Eureka with Dr. Shibendu Shankar Ray, Director, Mahalanobis National Crop Center, New Delhi, only on Rajyasabha Television.
Mihir Sen, an outstanding and extraordinary saltwater swimmer of India. He is the first Asian to swim the English Channel way back in 1958. And just 8 years later, in 1966, he swam the 7 seas of the 5 continents in 1 calendar year, which etched his name in the Guinness Book of World Records. In 1959, he was also conferred the Padma Shri, and in 1967, he was awarded the Padma Bhushan.
Judeham Synagogue, the lone Jewish temple of North India. With history seeped in its ruins, this place has often stood as a cultural corpus of the Jewish community in India.
This is the only synagogue where I allow the non-Jews also to come and attend the prayers. We greet in Judaism, Shalom means peace unto you. Namaste also is a peace unto you. Jews have been living in India for the last 2,000 years. And India is one of the countries where Jews have never faced anti-Semitism, anti-Zionism, and persecution. And therefore, you know, all the Jews in India, they consider themselves that they are Indians first and the Jews second. India is our motherland. ये हमारी मातृभूमि है और कर्म भूमि है, whereas Israel is a dharma bhumi. And there is a saying in Sanskrit, Janani Janma Bhumischa Swargadapi Gariyasi. A mother who has given you birth and country where you are born are greater than the heavens. Because what we learn in India, Vasudeva Kutumbakam and Atiti Deva Bhava, that is the India's culture.
Malikar, who lives with his family in the precincts of the synagogue, has been keeping the flame alive of Jewish culture in the city. The synagogue, whose foundation stone was laid in the year 1956, and the cemetery next door, has today become a focal point of Jewish community in its joy and sorrow.
This synagogue was built in 1956. And prior to 1956, during the Britishers' time also, there was no synagogue. This is the only synagogue in the entire North India. And that many, visitors, they have been asking me, where were you praying before 1956? So before that, we hired a place in near Baratuti. They have taken a small place, and before that, during the Britishers' time, we used to have the services at somebody's residence alternatively and conducting the prayers. The Jews are divided into three groups. One group is known as the Bnei Israel, the children of Israel. And most of the Bnei Israel Jews, you will either find in Bombay, Pune, or Ahmedabad. So we believe that our ancestors, when they came after the destruction of the second temple, all these tribes were dispersed and they came to India. So when they were sailing on the ship, it had a shipwreck and they landed. We believe that 7 Jewish families, they landed on the seashore of Naugao in former district Konkan. Now it is known as the district Raigad. And our forefathers, they landed on the seashore of Naugao, Konkan, and from there, they dispersed to the various places. Like, I'm a Malekar, so there is a village called Male. There is a Talkar, there is a village called Tal. Penkar, the village called Pen. My wife is from Satamkar. There is a place called Satambe. Rohekar. Famous our Indian prayers like Tendulkar, Gavaskar. These are the names of the villages. So we have taken these names from the villages.
Numbering just over 5,000 across India, the Jews in Delhi forms even a microscopic minority, with its population not more than 30. Besides Mumbai, which houses the largest population of Jews in India, Cochin and Kolkata too had their own Jewish population. Today, those cities reminisce the Jews through the remnants of time bygone.
In Cochin also, there are hardly any families, maybe 4 or 5 Jewish families in Cochin. And there were 3 synagogues in Cochin, in Malabar and in Matanchari and Crangnor. But now only one synagogue is functioning, that is the Pardesi synagogue. It is a place of attraction for all the tourists. It is now I think almost if tourist goes there, they will be taken to this synagogue, old synagogue, Pardesi synagogue.
Another prominent Jewish community in India, the Baghdadi Jews, populated the commercial spots of Kolkata. The Baghdadi came here as traders at the end of 18th century and made home the capital of British India, for it gave them trading opportunities and religious freedom. Religiously and culturally conservative, a tight-knit community of Baghdadi Jews lived and thrived in diaspora. Facing persecution in those days, the Baghdadi Jews families had first settled in the port cities from Basra to Shanghai. In those days, they were extremely successful in the shipping and sea route trade. Once numbering 6,000, today they are even less than 100. With numbers falling in Delhi too, the community is looking at ways to diversify itself and make its identity even more encompassing. It's here Ezekiel Itzhak Malikar has taken a keen role for himself.
In Delhi, we have a very small Jewish community. As a result, we cannot be so rigid in our attitude, because you will find in most of the religion, there's an element of fanatism, in the sense ultra-orthodox. In our religion also, in order to read Torah or in order to read the memorial prayer, Kaddish, you require a quorum of 10 men. That is called minyan. Unless and until you have 10 men, you cannot recite that prayer, you cannot read the Torah. But in our synagogue, in particular this synagogue, I have completely avoided gender discrimination.
Ezekiel's 30-year-old son Noel is a musician. Just like some of his community members who excelled in arts and performance, Noel, who is faculty at Delhi University's Delhi School of Music, it's clear where his heart lies.
Right now I'm teaching in Delhi School of Music, and I've been teaching for around 9 years. So I'm also into composing music, and I want to take it a step further by moving abroad and studying music production. So that's right now my focus, and maybe make music and make film music also and compose songs.
Though he prefers to call himself spiritual rather than religious, Noel acknowledges his Jewish ancestry for initiating his leaning towards music.
You can say not that much, but yes, we had prayers and we used to sing in Hebrew language and we used to sing in English. So yes, there was some kind of music around me, and even some instruments which are used in Jewish ceremonies and like shofar. So, but yes, my main interest I developed when I saw drums. Basically, I'm not that much into religion, and I don't know so much about the language of Hebrew. Yes, I can read a bit, but not that much. And I'm very satisfied with my music, and I think that's my religion. So I think music is my religion, and I think basic is you should be a good human. That's more important.
From Bene Israelis who came here more than 2,000 years ago to the current crop of backpackers and tourists flocking in the bakeries and Chabad house, India's Jewish community is pretty upbeat about the high noon of already warm ties between the two nations. With diplomatic ties expected to only strengthen further, its cultural significance is also set to grow. And reports that India remains a home away from home for the Jews.